Captive State Review. Ambitious sci-fi thriller offers up uneven intrigue film The Guardian. A jumble of themes and ideas jostle for space in an audacious, but often messy, film that takes a familiar alien invasion setup and goes for broke. A jumble of themes and ideas jostle for space in an audacious, but often messy, film that takes a familiar alien invasion setup and goes for broke. Buried somewhere underneath the wreckage, there's a smart little sci-fi film pulsing at the center of Captive State, a scrappy, unwieldy curio with plenty on its mind, coherence not necessarily included. Shot over 2 years, we're presented with a familiar setup. Aliens have invaded Earth, leading to destruction, division, and plenty of dust. But unlike the major, pitched somewhere between District 9 and The Purge, writer-director Rupert Wyatt, whose 2011 prequel Rise of the Planet of the Apes was a surprisingly urgent and necessary blockbuster, focuses the action on Chicago and how the New World Order affects a city already struggling with crime and economic disparity. His lead is Gabriel. He's unavoidably linked to Mulligan John Goodman, a local cop who worked with his father, now deceased, and who remains convinced that another underground revolution is on the rise. He's both There's something undeniably impressive about a film aiming to do more than its budget would traditionally allow, and while not quite as audacious as 2010's similarly themed Monsters, which attempted to tell a story of alien invasion with just $500,000 at play, Captive State is still admirably plucky. Marketed as another, more obvious, reason for this is an awareness of just how messy so much of it is. While Sanders, but logic aside, it somehow remains oddly likable. The plot might be Captive State is imperfectly constructed, at times frustratingly so, but it's trying, doggedly, to do something different, and given the bland efficiency of so many wide-releasing sci-fi movies, that's hard to fault. Captive State is out in theaters now in the US. Before you post, we'd like to thank you for joining the debate. We're glad you've chosen to participate, and we value your opinions and experiences. Please choose your username under which you would like all your comments to show up. You can only set. Please keep your posts respectful and abide by the and if you spot a comment you think doesn't adhere to the guidelines, please use the report link next to it to let us know. Please preview your comment below and click post when you're happy with it.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.